Okay, I'm not going to wait the whole 3 minutes. Like, I'm ready, you're ready, let's get started. So, there's no major plan for today. Thank you all so much for being early. I actually don't have a major plan for today because I have been live streaming most of the day with City.js. And so, we're doing a lot of MCing, and there's been so much fun. Met so many amazing people, and kind of the Zelda game where you walk around and you get to meet other people is pretty cool. Met so many awesome people. And so that was really good fun. But it's quite tiring. So I was on the fence about cancelling the live stream, getting some rest. But you know what? I missed you all. I thought let's just geek out a little bit. So we're going to keep it easy and light today. And it is Friday, right? We've already heard people saying it's Friday. What is Eddie Hub? Does someone in the chat want to write and explain what Eddie Hub is? So Eddie Hub is an inclusive community where we focus on open source and getting you the green squares so you can level up. Hopefully that level up sound effect went through and was okay. Few things have overheated today, having the camera on since like 8 o'clock this morning, which is like time zone wise, that's like 9 hours or something like that. Alan is always ready. Awesome to have you here, Alan, as well. Been fun attending City.js. Thanks for the tickets. Oh, I'm glad you attended and ran around. Nick came to say hi and I spoke to him for like 30 seconds and I had to then run to a meeting and all the rest. So not meeting, I had to run to do a Q&A stuff. So didn't get a chance to chat too much to Nick and so forth. But I'm glad you're enjoying the event. The Zelda-like game is very interesting, definitely. So that was good fun. So yeah, we can talk about whatever you want today. So let me know what questions you have. So Harshit, hopefully I explained what Eddie Hub is. No, I didn't really. So let me explain. So we've got a GitHub organization which I can show you. So let me just flick my fingers and show you my screen. Make this a bit bigger. Oh no, don't do that. So let's make this a bit bigger. And we have got a GitHub organization. We've got a Discord community. So if I head over to that now. So this is our GitHub organization. You can join. You can raise an issue on the support repo, and then you can get an invite to join. We have repos from practice repos. We have repos from Discord bots. We have all sorts of things. And it's a really good way to get people to discover your profile as well, because you'll appear on the people list and so forth. So that's the GitHub side. And then we have the Discord side that I briefly mentioned. We've got kind of good first issue channel where you can find good first issues to work on, or you can submit your own issues if you think it's good for good first issues for people to get into open source. We also have a guild, so the MLH hackathon is starting, I think, this Sunday. Someone correct me in the chat. Harshit's going to join Eddie Hub. Awesome. Let's bring it up on the screen because that's definitely positive. We do want that. I'm still behind. So awesome. Yes, do join. So MLH hackathon is this Sunday, starting for a week, and we have a guild called Eddie Hub. So when you do join our guild, and it's a collaborative hackathon, so you'll work with our guild where there'll be kind of hundreds of people, you're all working together to get points. And I'll tell you a little secret. I should have drum roll. We won the last MLH hackathon. So we did our first one in January and we won. So yeah, that was really awesome. Lots of collaboration. People realized that rather than trying to complete all the tasks, it's better to complete, say, if it's half of them or 75% of them, and help other people. So that's awesome. I think someone has just jumped into Radio Eddie. We have Nick on Radio Eddie. How you doing, Nick? Yeah, good. I was just telling everyone how in City.js you came to say hi and came to see me, and we spoke for like a minute, and then I had to run off. I said I had to run off for a meeting, but actually I had to run off for a Q&A session on one of the talks. But yeah, it was good fun, and good to see some people as well from the Eddie Hub community as well, even if it only was for a couple of minutes. Yeah, you're always very, very busy, and yeah, it's good. You're always getting those green squares and always sharing them as well. So to bringing up on the screen now, we do have our community call tomorrow. So thank you so much, Mercy Pink, for reminding me. My memory is fried. I'm still behind here. So Tomorrow at 6 p.m. GMT, we do have our community call where it's audio only on Discord. So you're right, it's our monthly call. So everyone do join, and you can share something you've learned recently. You can ask a question. It is really an open forum for people just to, I guess, practice their public speaking, share some knowledge, ask a question. And there's usually someone who can answer the question. We get all sorts of other YouTubers join as well, which is always really, really good fun. Oh yeah, you are really, really quiet. I'm really sorry, that's my bad. Now try Nick. That's still not working. No, it's my fault. 1 second, sorry. I didn't plug in the cable. Too many cables. 1 second. Okay, we're good. Thanks for mentioning it. Right, so should all be able to hear Nick now.
Can you hear me now? Just like those Verizon commercials.
Yes, my mistake. My brain is so fried. Absolutely. So hopefully that's much better. And we have, thank you very much for pointing that out, whoever pointed that out. And
that was Alan.
Alan, thank you so much. So that's a fail on my side, so a bit of a sound effect for that. And people asking how to, Eddie muted Nick, how to join the organization. So I'll share a link to our GitHub organization in the chat. And what you want to do is you want to go to our support repo. Actually, I probably should have shared this link. Support repo. And then if you go to issues and then go to new issue, and you will get a green square for this. So that's pretty cool. And you say, invite me to the organization. And you just don't have to type anything. Literally just hit submit new. And the GitHub action will add you to the organization. I can share that in the chat. Hopefully it didn't get cut off. I don't know. YouTube did give me a warning. No, it's okay. It didn't get cut off. So yeah, just raise an issue and you can get invited to our organization. And a big shout out to Jay. Jay just got your first job. Did I see that on Twitter correctly, Jay? Give you kind of victory sound. I think that is very well done. But yeah, we should repeat that conversation briefly. So yeah, Nick's had a busy day. We met in Gathertown. This is JS very briefly. I did a runner. I can't remember what else we said. I think that was kind of it, right?
Those are the important bits.
Yeah. Everyone watching, don't forget, support the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. Really helps support the channel. So today is a really chilled out, as a lot of people will say, kind of the chilled out stream. Eddie show, been called in the past. I'm not planning on doing anything specific, but I'm planning to answer your questions. You can come on Radio Eddie and you can kind of chat for a bit if you want. And I have got some things I want to do on our organization, so we can do some things. I do want to move some GitHub actions across some repos, so we can do some of that if you want. But my brain is fried. Nick's brain is fried as well, so we're going to keep it quite chilled today.
Yeah, I've got to bounce out of here at about 40 minutes.
Okay. Well, that will go on too much longer than that anyway. I think everyone will see me kind of keel over. But yeah, everyone can hear you now, which is good. I'm ignoring some messages apparently. Yeah, probably. I'm kind of... Vamsy, happy to see the community grow. God, I can't even speak. Not to go, to grow. I'm proud you're one of the initial members. Yeah, we haven't seen you in a while. I guess you've been busy. But yes, you were one of the first. And good to... see you back as well. So let's have a look. What else have we got in the chat? Awesome. I love it when everyone's sharing what they've been up to. So it's great. Kunal, hi. Awesome to have you here. Thanks for the shout out. I'm doing good. A bit tired. Looking forward to the weekend. And Andrew has spent the day watching videos on Flutter and destroying the internet. Andrew has bad internet. So yeah, anyone tried Flutter? I'd be interested to know. Nick, have you tried Flutter?
I have not. I know that Danny Thompson absolutely loves it. I think.
Really? I haven't. I don't even know what it looks like. I know it's Dart underneath. I was curious to see what kind of some code looks like of what it looks like.
I think it's really for mobile development, which is very far outside of my wheelhouse.
Yeah. It's mobile development. I don't know. I just prefer using like Ionic. It just seems to work. And Ionic now you can use with Angular, Vue, React. It's just I just prefer using that. But I hear lots of good things about Flutter. But yeah, I don't think it's something that will be on my radar. Ionic just allows me to do things for hackathons really, really quickly. I'm trying to think of an example. Well, they all claim to write once, run anywhere, but it just takes it from a different point of view, I suppose. But I like how it's all got this pre-built stuff, which is just awesome. Yeah, see, Angular, Vue, React, Native.js, and that just reads so much easier for me, I think. So that gives you that card. I like that. Button, list item. Is this Angular though? This doesn't look like it. I think it's just generic because you can use you can use anything with it. I think in their examples, the docs they have. I remember looking. They have different sections. I think as well. If you want to use Angular or React or anything like that. So yeah, I've played with this a few times. There we go. So he works with all three of them, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Andrew shared a link to Flutter docs. Yeah, it's very, very specific, I suppose, to mobile. Have I ever worked on .NET technologies? I haven't. I avoid the Microsoft ecosystem. So yeah, sorry, not for me. I don't know anyone else. I think we have a few people in the community who do .NET or C#, let's say. So maybe there's someone in the community who can help.
Did you catch this one?
Probably
from
not.
R. Srinath asks, how did you get your clients in your early years of freelancing?
Oh, great question. I can't see that. I must have missed that. So my kind of brain is dead. So in terms of when I went into freelancing, I actually did it before I started working. And so that was probably like 16, 17 years ago. And so it was very different back then. There wasn't GitHub, there wasn't Upwork, there wasn't, all those sorts of sites and platforms. So it was very different. And then I went into working for I think 5 or 6 years, 5 years. And then I went back into kind of freelancing contracting, but I had a very different set of clients the second time I went into it. But what I would suggest is, I think definitely do open source. You don't have to be a huge open source contributor, but have some activity on there, especially for the bigger clients. So when I went into kind of contracting freelancing the second time, they definitely wanted to see open source work. But for the smaller clients, I did right at the beginning of my journey. They didn't care. So it depends on the clients you want. So I'll definitely just keep that ticking along, and reach out to your friends, your family, your network, and see if anyone needs what you need, what you can provide. And I'm sure there are, because even if you just can configure a domain with DNS, that might be simple to you. But if someone doesn't know what a domain is, or how to set up an email, or how to set up a CNAME or an A record, it is really, really hard for them. So I would definitely look into your close network, and then try and expand even further and go to maybe startup events. A lot of these places want a website or a web app or a mobile app, and not too fussed on technology. They just want a prototype that they can put in front of their first 100 users, for example. And so I'll definitely do that, and think of it. Think of it as, don't try and make a quick buck especially at the beginning, because you'll want to over deliver and under promise. And the reason why I say that is, you want those people, your first few clients, your first 10 clients, to become your ambassadors, and to say to all their friends and their family and their network, wow, this person is amazing. I was expecting this, but they gave me that. And that's what you want to do. You don't want them to say, oh, they were late, it wasn't what I wanted. That's awful. They're not going to recommend you. It just gives you a really bad reputation. You want your reputation to go and speak for itself. Otherwise, you'll just waste lots of time just kind of cold calling people. You don't want that. Yes, to find the first 10, you might need to do something like that. But after that, you want those 10 people to find you 3 more clients each. So if you've got 30 kind of queuing up, and they might not come immediately, they might come 6 months, 6 months or a year later. But if those people are happy and they're telling their friends and network, they're going to sing your praises. So I highly recommend doing that. But I hope that helps. And if you need to go on Upwork or something like TopTal, I think it's another one, then go on that one. And again, the same principles apply. Over deliver, so therefore you can get really good star rating and build up your personal brand. Mercy Pink says
Ooh,
I've missed some questions in the chat. Sorry. What
I
was that,
tried to
Nick?
catch them, but
Okay.
I just saw this message in chat that I really want to touch on.
Sure.
Um, Shubhav Vasisht um, says that your GitHub, Eddie, they want to contribute, but it's only JavaScript and TypeScript, and you should add some support for C++. And I've got to say, you're going to see that everywhere you go in the development world. People will have their specialties. People will have, I just like Eddie, I focus on TypeScript. If you look at my GitHub, it's TypeScript and Angular because that's the stack that I use. It's what I enjoy and it's what I'm most comfortable with. Um, and that's a huge part of branching out is you as a contributor can decide, is this something that you want to, is this something you want to explore? If it is, look for issues tagged good first issue or first timers only, or things that we've identified as maintainers as great opportunities to kind of break in and get a feel for the language and the repository. And if it's not, then that's okay too. You don't have to contribute to everything you see on GitHub.
Absolutely, and I want to show you how you can find some issues as well for the language and a good first issue, because that's just great tips for everyone who we've missed your questions. We will come back to those in a second. I will scroll up and have a look, but I really like that. So if I just open a new tab on GitHub, and the way you can search for, actually even easier, go to issues at the top, and what you can do is initially it shows created issues assigned or mentioned, but you can kind of delete everything in the search box. And you could type in label, for example, and here it comes from last time I used it, label good first issue, JavaScript. You could type in Python or C++, whatever it is, and it will search the GitHub for label good first issue and the language that you want, and then you can go find a repo. And what I would suggest is when you do find one, go check that it's got like a code of conduct. So you can go to the Insights tab on the top, and then the left, go to Community. Check it's got code of conduct. Check it's got a license, and also check the closed pull request. Like this one hasn't got any, so let me go back a few and find another repo. But check the closed Check the closed pull request to make sure it is inclusive, right? That they want people to contribute. So what you can do, so if I go to, there's almost 200 closed, which is really promising. And then in the list, there's two types. There's the purple ones, which have been merged. And then there should be a red one, which means it's been closed. And if it's been closed by the maintainer, that's fine. It's their project. But they can close it in two ways. They can just hit close, no comment. You don't know why it wasn't accepted. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it something they just didn't want? Whereas if it's closed with a comment saying, look, thank you so much for this pull request, but we don't want this feature right now, have a look at issues 1, 2, 3, then that's fine. So this has been closed by actually the author of the pull request, so that's also fine as well, because that was their decision to close it. So do go check it out and make sure that the project is inclusive and wants contributions. I think that's really important. Let me check out. Hopefully I haven't missed too much in the chat. So let me go through. So I answered the Gautam's message about .NET, and then Kunal asked, I made my first contribution to Eddie Hub recently. Woo! Sound effect. Let's do a level up. Yes! Wrote some content for Eddie Hub page. It felt really good. Awesome. Well done. That's what we love to hear. Let me see if I can bring that on the screen real quick. It's what we love to hear, right? Our community is different to all the other communities. One, because everyone helps each other, right? Everyone here is a mentee, including myself, but everyone here is also a mentor, including you. So it's the best way to learn both sides. So even if you're a month into your journey, there's someone who's only one day where you were a month ago. And
I think Eddie and I learn something from each other almost every day.
Exactly. And Nick's is such an inspiration to all of you. Actually, I'm going to share, I know Nick won't share it, so I will share Nick's GitHub in the chat. But really quick highlight, I'm probably going to get the story wrong, but in a nutshell, I'll let Nick go into more details. A year ago, Nick wasn't coding. I think the date's kind of right. And is now, like from 6 months ago, again, I'll get Nick to correct this in a second, is working for Free Code Camp, which is freaking awesome.
4 months.
4 months, but that's just so cool. Really, really awesome. So I've shared Nick's GitHub in the chat. Go and follow Nick and like, look at his green squares. Like puts mine to shame. Look from last kind of end of May. Look at that. Last time I looked, that was 5,000. How have you managed to get to 7,000? And it's not even a year because haven't got like you started less than a year ago. It's just like. Wow. Okay, I need to get going more. You've been really active recently. This is obviously since you've joined Eddie Hub. No, I'm just joking. You're always really active, but they got
Eddie Hub helps. So does work.
Yes,
You know, the huge benefit of working in open source.
but that's the dream, right? Work in open source, you get paid to do open source. I mean, that's just that's the dream. I think that's a great place to be. I love it as well. We have a question from Shubham. Can a C++ programmer be good at contributing to open source? Yes, because anybody can be good at contributing to open source because, as we say, collaboration first, code second, but also there's so many points of views that add value. So if you're new to tech or new to a project, you can add value from your point of view. If you know a different technology, you can come across to the project and add your point of view and say, well, in this different technology, we do it this way. Just be aware of this idea. They might not change to do it that way, but at least they've made the decision not to do it that way, like a conscious decision rather than not being aware of it. And reviewing the docs and actually going through them, not just reading them and looking for typos, although my first 10 contributions, not pull requests, because there were no pull requests 10 years ago when I started contributing to open source, was typos. And that's great. If you see any typos in my repos, please fix them. I welcome them definitely. But also going through the documentation and running through the steps and seeing if there's a step missing or there's an assumption, right? It says step 1, then step 2, and then 3, but there's like a 2B, like navigate into directory. Like if you clone a project, like so many quick start guides on people's projects say clone the project. And then they say, right, now run npm install or pip install or whatever it is. But there's a missing step, which is cd, like navigate into that directory. And most people just know that because they've done it before. Whereas if you're new to the project or new to that technology, it's really hard. And they're like, I'm running npm install and it says package JSON not found. What's going on? I've got all these errors. And so you can add so much value by just looking at the project from a fresh pair of eyes. Let's have a look. What have we got? Where is it? Oh, I saw something about Flutter. Continuing the conversation on Flutter. Andrew says Flutter has web support now too. Okay. But apparently their web support performance is not very good. Okay, I'll let you two fight it out. I haven't got an opinion. I don't know. But it is interesting. Next year or 2 or 3 is going to be very, very interesting. Mercy Pink, thanks for the heads up that I missed some questions in the chat. If I miss anything else, do let me know, or everyone feel free to kind of copy and paste your question back in. Talking about Microsoft ecosystem, I have all 4 limbs deep into it. Fair enough. I think, yeah, it's just like, Apple or, Microsoft, you do kind of go deep into those ecosystems. I'm like go deep into the open source world. That's me, and you all know that already. Alan does some .NET stuff too. Yeah, sure.
Can I jump ahead here? Because there's another one I want to touch on. Rashid Dogli asks, Eddie, could you share any tips about growing open source projects? Would love to implement them for my own projects.
Love that.
And I'm sure I'm stealing Eddie's thunder here, but the very first step is your documentation. If you've watched Eddie's streams where we review open source projects, you'll see that one of the first things we look at is the community section of the Insights tab. You should have a README, you should have a contributing.md, you should have a code of conduct, issue templates, pull requests. Make sure that your documentation is in place so that if I, as a new contributor, want to come make a change to your project, I should have all of the information that I need to do so. And then second, I would say, handling your issues is important. We've touched on this in streams before as well, where, and I'm guilty of it too. On live streams, I have opened issues with like 3 words because it makes sense at the time.
Yeah.
but be very, be as clear as possible in the issues you open, especially if you're going to label it as a good first issue. You need to have that documentation in place to lower the barrier of entry for contributions, especially for first timers. And then of course labels. GitHub has special features for labels that for the help wanted and good first issue labels, where when you search for them and you view a repository, it will say, 18 issues need help, or, there are 3 good first issues. And all of that will help get your project some exposure. And then finally, my last bit is join our Discord. We have a channel specifically for sharing your projects, and we have a channel specifically for sharing good first issues. So whether you're a maintainer or a contributor, there are plenty of resources available in our Discord for you to start making or receiving contributions.
Well said. And I've just shared a link to submit your projects to be reviewed on a live stream or video, where we'll review it as a community so you can get more contributors and more stars. So do submit your open source project, and we will all have a look at that together, and you'll get feedback. Even like if I filter the issues by open source review, and you can see a lot of these have already got comments. Some of them have got 14 comments already, which is even by the time I review it on a live stream, people are already making comments and suggestions and so forth. So yeah, get involved in the community, and the more you get involved in the community, the more the community will give back to you. And I've also shared a link in the YouTube chat about our monthly community call, which is happening tomorrow. Mercy Pink, I think it was Mercy Pink, thanks for the reminder. I've shared this link. You can sign up and join our audio-only Discord call tomorrow about this sort of time, I think.
I will say, I love that countdown. That's awesome. I will say that, share definitely, Eddie shared the link to request an open source project review. Definitely do that, because not only will it show up on a live stream when we get to that part in the list, and we are a little bit behind on that, but as soon as you open that issue, members of our community will look at your project, and they'll be chiming in, and they'll be providing feedback, and it's almost instantaneous exposure for your project. And it's not, it's a bummer to have to wait for a live stream. I get that. It's cool to see your project on a live stream, but there is so much more value behind opening that review request than just the live stream.
Absolutely. And to add one more to that, don't think, I haven't done a license, I haven't done this, I haven't put a description, I'll wait for them to review it and then I'll add it afterwards. Make it the best that you can make it. Go look at your project now and make it as good as you can. So therefore on the live stream, we can add more value to you and maybe spot things that aren't so obvious. And I've learned loads of stuff from reviewing projects. I mean, we've had some projects where I've just learned so much in the way they've done things, like table of contents. I need to add that to my project, and things like I can't remember what the name of the project was, but I vividly remember their name was a bit odd and their logo was a bit odd, but they had in their README a reason why they chose that name and that logo, and it just all made sense. And I was like, wow, there's actually a really good story behind that. So I really, really like that. Let's have a look. Okay, I'm going to try and catch up. So let's have a look. Andrew says, not saying to use Flutter to make a website for your project, but if you want to have a web version on the side, it works too. Aditya, what did we learn at City.js? Oh, good question. So I did speak with, how do you pronounce it? It's like, I can't think of the company name now. It's got 4 letters and it ends in Dazan. They're like Netflix for sports, apparently. I haven't watched them, but they obviously got a big engineering team. They're always looking to hire and so forth. They use a lot of JavaScript, which is awesome. I know Netflix uses a lot of Java. So that was quite interesting. What else did I learn? I learned Circle CI has a new feature coming out in a few days, but I did ask them a really hard questions on the live stream, like how does it compare to GitHub Actions? Obviously, I'm a big GitHub Actions fan, so that was quite interesting. But they talked about the pros and cons of both. They were really, really sensible, so that was good. I don't know if Nick or anyone else wants to share anything that they learned, but I know there was just a lot of running around and saying hi to people, which was quite good fun.
I unfortunately don't have much to share because I missed out on pretty much the entire event, it being in
Time
the other half of
zones,
the
yeah.
world. But I got to poke around GatherTown a bit, and that is such a neat platform, and I would love to see more conferences go that direction.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. And Alan, was it Alan? No, Jay said they attended Shruti's GraphQL talk. I really want to get Shruti onto a live stream. Actually, reminded me to ping her after this to join us on a live stream and do some GraphQL stuff, because I haven't done any GraphQL stuff. I know what it does, but I haven't done it. And I'd be interested to learn more about it. And not only that, we've been doing a lot of work on data stacks and Stargate and so forth, but using their REST API. But you're able to, with the same connection, use GraphQL. So we're interested to know, like especially when I do some bigger queries, or maybe join some data from different kind of REST endpoints, maybe GraphQL can make that a lot nicer, a lot more convenient. So yes, maybe we'll do something like that in a few weeks. Let me know in the chat if GraphQL sounds interesting to you, and I can go speak to Shruti as well.
I'd love to explore it. We use it for work, but I haven't really touched that part of the code base yet. So it's still all very new to me. Do you know if those, coming from Alan, do you know if those talks will, those CDJS talks and workshops and all that, will any of those be public?
They will be. My understanding is they will be posted on YouTube. I think it'll take them time for them to kind of edit out the bits and so on. But my understanding is they will be available on YouTube. Yeah.
Neat. I can catch up too then.
Yeah, me too. Where did I get in the chat? Let's have a look. Alan's answered. I love it when other people answer the questions in the chat as well. So it's great. So if you've got a thought, an opinion, an experience, a tip, share it in the chat. Alan says anyone can be good at contributing to open source. Yeah, I agree 100%.
I would actually love to give Alan a huge shout out for not only answering questions here, but I see them around the Eddie Hub Discord, answering questions and just dropping absolute wealths of knowledge, and so huge shout out for that for sure. Let's
share Alan's GitHub in the chat. And do go follow Alan on GitHub and find out what awesome stuff he is up to. Lots of green as well. And sponsoring lots of people too, which is great. I see we have Alex on Radio Eddie. Alex, thanks for joining. How are you?
Hello, everyone. I'm good to be here.
Awesome.
How is your day going, Eddie?
Yeah, good. It's been long. I'm doing a terrible job of going through people's questions in the chat, and I've literally I can see 3 down. You said, "Hey, folks, what have I missed?" And I hadn't even got to that yet. So thanks for joining on the chat. It makes it easier for me. So that's awesome. Before I ask you about your day, I'm just gonna, before this question goes off my screen, I'm gonna answer it. So Kunal, wait a second. No, before I get to that one, sorry. Okay, yeah, we've done that one. Eddie, yes.
I do have to step out. I'm
sure.
Go prep for my next meeting.
No worries. But thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me, and thank you everybody for joining. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will try to lurk in the Discord as much as possible. So if you join the Radio Eddie waiting channel, I should be available to pop you over into Radio Eddie. Just ping me if I don't see it.
Nick, thank you so much. Yeah, focus on your work first. Any help, great. If not, don't worry. We'll try and figure it out. I'm sure between all of us we can figure it out. But thank you so much. You always make it so much easier. So thank you.
Take care, everybody.
Have a good day.
Bye, Nick.
So yeah, before I ask Alex about his day, we have Kunal that says, "Can you tell me anything about a career in cybersecurity?" I'm glad you asked that question. Not because I have a good answer, but because I have Sam, I can't think of his surname, but huge in the cybersecurity space, reached out to me yesterday and wants to do a live stream or a Twitter Spaces on cybersecurity from a dev's perspective or getting into cybersecurity. So we're going to do that over the next couple of weeks. So watch this space. I've seen Sam speak at Facebook and various other events as well. Really knows his stuff. So yeah, just watch this space. There will be some stuff coming on that soon as well. So Alex, how's your day been? Oh, have we lost Alex? Let me see. We'll bring this over. I can't bring it over. I've ruined it. I've broken it. Okay, we've lost Alex for the moment. We'll get back to Alex in a second. Let me get back to your questions. So do you think it's good to learn Flutter in 2020? We're in 2021, so unless I'm misunderstanding the question, but I think it's growing. I see Flutter growing. I'm not in that ecosystem, but it is growing. And we also have Jay here. Jay, how you doing?
Hello, Eddie. Yeah, I'm doing great.
Thanks for joining Radio Ready.
Yeah, I was just going through all the comments and I was like, yeah, I should join.
Awesome. And you can tell, while I'm reading through the questions, you can tell us about the GraphQL talk, like what things like stuck in your mind from that event today.
The most important thing that got stuck was how PayPal introduced GraphQL as a company, as an organization into their stack. How they started rolling out GraphQL queries little by little, changing their whole REST stack into GraphQL. Yeah, I think the talk was more focused on big organizations and how they can uh, change their stack from React, because changing stacks can cause a lot of time. Yeah, it can take a lot of time.
Yeah, exactly. And I did see in the chat someone, I've probably lost it now, someone saying subscribe to Eddie's second YouTube channel. So I'm gonna share that in the chat as well. So thanks for that shout out. I always forget to share it. The channel is focusing on YouTube Shorts. So yeah, have a look at that channel, like 1 minute or less videos. And we have Alex back. Alex, how you doing? Did you have some technical issues?
Yeah, I wasn't able to hear you, and it was
Okay.
strange. I had to reload Discord.
Got you. Okay, no problem. No problem at all. Good to have you back. And I have found the message that I was looking for that I really appreciate from, I lost it again. Too many screens. I lost it. I will find it in a second. But it was Neon who suggested this, to subscribe to my second channel. So thank you very much. I was going to bring it up as a title, but I can't. Lost your message now. So Alex, did you? What have you learned today? You're always learning new things. Have you learned anything new today?
Yeah, I've learned some new things about the Discord.py module for making Discord bots. And today I rewrote my bot to be more precise.
Awesome.
And also I learned how to deploy it on a virtual machine, not on Heroku or something like that.
Awesome.
And
Cool.
managed to set it up running 24/7.
Where did you deploy it to? DigitalOcean?
No, to a virtual machine I found on a friend's, not DigitalOcean, but
Okay.
a friend has a digital virtual machine, and I managed
Got
to
you.
set it up and running.
Awesome. That sounds good. And here's a question probably for all of us. By Shanti says, I'm a little confused. Some people say I need to learn JavaScript and TypeScript, and some say learn Java frameworks. Well, okay, so learn Java. I guess you're comparing JavaScript, TypeScript with Java, because both have frameworks, both have libraries. Java, it depends on where you are and depends what industry you want to work in my opinion. So Java used to be massively popular, but I see in startup world, in kind of, especially also in kind of more modern, not even just startups, but more modern projects, it's full stack JavaScript. So you can do JavaScript for the front end and JavaScript for the back end. And yeah, I used to do Java. I still love Java, but yeah, all my clients, everyone's asking for JavaScript and TypeScript, but it's effectively JavaScript. But Python. There are other popular languages. If you don't like it, there is Python is massively popular as well. Because Alex, you do Python, is that correct?
Yep.
And then Jay, remind me what you do.
I do Python, JavaScript.
Okay.
Now I'm learning C Sharp, and I think like the job I got, that company uses Java. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Just to
Let me rephrase that. What's your favorite one? If you had to pick
okay,
one.
Python, because that
okay.
was my first language I got really comfortable with.
Got you. Okay, fair enough. So Shanti, I hope that helps. I'm sure other people in the chat. I'm going scrolling through the chat. I'm sure other people in the chat have given you their thoughts and opinion too as well. Oh, people hopefully have. So yeah, look at what is needed in the industry you want to work in. Look at maybe some local companies. Post pandemic, things will be maybe more local again, and see which one you like as well. Don't work with a language because it might pay a bit more, because if you're not enjoying it, then I wouldn't bother doing it.
One thing I want to add that like this is true in most of the cases, that startups are definitely look more for React, Node.js, TypeScript, like those kind of things, and settled companies, or what you could say big old companies, do prefer Java because that is what their stack is in, and they don't really want to change and spend time on moving their stacks here and there. Like I know someone from my batch is working in Amazon, and she's like deep into Java, the one language she hated while doing engineering. Yeah.
I see lots of other people have replied as well, and Shanti's replied again and says, currently I'm working on Java and learning DSA using Java, but I don't know what to do. Java is a more difficult language than JavaScript and TypeScript and Python. So if you do learn Java, the rest will be easier rather than going the other way. If you're going from JavaScript to Java, I think it's a lot harder. But going from Java to JavaScript is a lot easier. And same with Python or PHP. So Java has got a steeper learning curve, but I think it's a good foundations to learn it. So it's not a negative thing, is what I'm trying to say. And hopefully some people in the chat have also given their thoughts as well.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on. Alex, go first. Jay spoke a moment ago, and Jay can go after you.
Yeah.
I was about to say that if you want to learn something, don't focus on one specific language and say, I want to program in Java only, because in every project you can have, for example, Java for the backend and some front end with React and JavaScript. So don't learn only one language. Start with the easier and more valuable for you for the moment, and then learn something new, because you might use it in some other projects or in the same project.
Exactly. And Jay, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say that if you want to do development in Java, I think Spring Boot is the one to go with.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Spring Boot was the last thing I did in Java like 6-7 years ago, and I loved it. It was really good. So yeah, definitely they've really thought that through. It's very, very interesting. But you can always change, right? Things are built in microservices, so as Alex was saying, you can mix things. But also, even if you did do Java for a month, 3 months, 6 months, you can change. It's not like you have to do that for the rest of your life. I mean, I've changed quite a few times, and it sounds like Jay has changed quite a few, and I'm sure Alex has changed as well. So you're not stuck with one.
Yeah, now I'm writing mainly in Python, but also I have some Java projects, some JavaScript ones, and it's all mixed up.
Good mix.
and every time you change, like it gets easier and easier to change every other time. I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going to move on to the next question, just conscious of time. So we have Mercy Pink with a question: how to maintain Git commits and push them regularly to GitHub. I tend to forget to push. Always think that your computer might crash, it might get stolen, it might break, and you might lose it. So when you kind of do something that you're happy with, commit it and push it to a branch. So it's not going to appear as a green square on your board, on your kind of, your dashboard until it gets merged in. But that's fine, it's in a branch and so forth. So what I would suggest is, just every time something works, just commit and push it up to a branch. And then once you're happy with that, then you can merge it in. So don't leave the computer with maybe some unfinished work. Try and get it to a certain state, commit it and push it, and then kind of come back to it later if you need to.
And also, if I may add, I, for example, have developed this process. When I make some changes, I do git add, git commit, and git push to be absolutely sure that everything is up to date in the repository.
Nice, yeah. Keep everything up to date. Have less conflicts later. It's just, the more you do it, I think the more people will realize they find an easier way of working to kind of make things more efficient. And we have a question from Manish: how to grow myself as a MERN stack developer in freelancing. So make sure you have a portfolio with some projects, even if they're made up projects. Like you make a project for your mum's cooking that she's not really going to use, but try and work with someone. If you can get a real-ish project, like make one for free for your mum's friend for whatever they do, and because you get to practice communicating with a client, seeing how they work. They might not want to use GitHub issues, but you might want to put them into a GitHub issue. But they might want to use email, but you just get a kind of, you'll practice a way to work with someone, and you'll improve it every time. But the first 10 is always kind of like the hardest and not very efficient. So I would definitely just do it, and don't worry about, you specialize in MERN, and in most small projects, they won't care what technologies you use. So if you're happy with that, use that. And as you get onto bigger projects, there might be an architect or someone who is right, or CTO, right, we want to use this technology. But just don't, for the beginning, you might stick to it, but later on, be flexible. Like if something comes up, now that you know MERN, you'll know other technologies as well. Because MERN, remind me, is Mongo, Express, React, and Node. Is that correct? I think it is. So, some people might only use part of that. They might use most of that and just change one of them out. So you'll be able to do that if you know those sorts of skills. So just keep practicing. Definitely keep doing that. SR, what's the theme for today? No reviews. No, we did reviews on Monday. So today, I thought I wasn't going to do reviews again. I thought you'll get bored of my open source reviews. So I thought we'll just do kind of a chill out, do more Q&A, and see what questions and how I can help people get more into open source, get them the job that they deserve, that you all deserve. So yeah, we'll do some reviews again coming up very soon. I know I've got lots of projects to review. I've seen some notifications just come in as well. Awesome. So people saying thank you for some of the feedback and suggestions, which is great. Yes, submit your Rishit. Yes, submit your project for open source review. Get the community's eyes on it and so forth. Yeah, links will get hidden from us by Nightbot, so we can't see them. This is a great question. Raphael, hopefully I pronounced that right. I don't know. Let me try and see if I can bring that up in the chat. No, I've kind of lost it in the history. Oh no, I found it. We're good. I'm slowly catching up with the chat. I think this is a great question, and I'll be really interested to know what people's thoughts are on this. So, which one should be the first version of a library on NPM? 0.1.0 or 0.0.1? That's a really good question, because I do it one way and I don't know if it's correct. I do 0.1.0. I don't know if that's correct. What do you do, Alex and Jay?
I haven't still haven't done such thing, and maybe in the future I'll know how to do it.
Okay. I mean, no problem. There is. Oh, sorry. Go on, Jay.
The first one, which I did, was 1.0.0, so I can't say anything. The next, the recent project which I'm working on, I have it as alpha 0.1.0 alpha and then 0.2.0 alpha because it's not yet working. So yeah, uh, I don't have any preference or such, but I think 0.1.0 sounds good for the first push.
Yeah, so I've gone to Semver's website, and the first number is the major version when you make incompatible API changes. But if it's the first one, there's nothing incompatible because it's all new. So you can have that as 0, I guess. And then the second one is a minor version when you add functionality, but backward compatibility still works. And then the third one is the patch. So people are probably writing stuff in the chat and further down and so on. But like, to give an example, I automate this. So I automate the generation of the version. So the package JSON gets updated, the release gets created with the same version, the bot gets updated. I mean, if I go to not bot logs, where is it? If I go to bot chat and if I type, I can't remember what the command was, version. Oh no, it was Stargate version, I think. I can't remember now. Okay, I can't remember. I should look through the history. It'll be so far back in the history, but there is a version command, and there we go. So you can see it's 0.7.1, which matches the version of the tag release, and you can see the change logs are automatically created. So if it's a feature, it bumps a whole minor version. If it's a bug fix, it just bumps the build version, and then you can see some of them have a lot more features, and that's all auto generated. So yes, I would just start with something. Having something's important. A lot of projects don't. They're all just on 0.0.0 all the time. So as long as you're kind of incrementing that, I think that's a really good start.
And I think 0.1.0 is better to start with because I think the first publish which you do is going to be something something which works definitely, and it's not a patch because there wasn't anything before it. So I think 0.1.0 makes sense that way.
I've just skipped down the chat because I knew some people would have written some answers. So Neon says, Eddie, can you explain what each part of it means? I did that already. So hopefully, I didn't see your question, but great minds, we think alike. So hopefully that's good. If you need more information with that, let me know. SR says, start with 0. And Andrew says, if your library is ready for production, you should start with 1. And that's actually a really good point. If it is production ready, start with 1. None of my projects are production ready. So I'm never going to get to that 1 at the moment. But if you're still in development, use 0, or it's a prototype, or it's an alpha or beta. Yeah, absolutely. So your very first version should be 0.0.0. Okay, interesting. I always do 0.1.0. And as I bump the number so often, I guess the first number is less. It gets less and less important, so that's not an issue. Lael is here. How you doing? So 1.0.0 plus bug fixes becomes 1.0.1, and new feature becomes 1. Yeah, I'm going to bring it up on the screen because that's a lot of me saying 1.0.1.0s and numbers and stuff. So let me see. Here we go. Here's a great example. So thank you very much for that, Lael. That explains it. That's what I was saying. I was just going 1.0.0, ones and zeros. But yes, that explains it. So awesome. Thank you so much for that. I'll have to scroll back up in a second to see the questions that I missed. Awesome. You just start with 0.1.0. Thank you, Rashid. We're on the same page. Awesome. Thanks for discussing, everyone. Eddie, I've also started with 0.1.0 and I'm using semantic versioning, but I was wondering if it's okay like this. Yeah, it's fine. Do it. I mean, if you're using semantic versioning, you're way ahead of like 90% of people. So that's all really, really good. We got Kaz in the chat as well. Okay, I'm gonna get lost, but hi, all new people who've been joining. Awesome to have you here. Let me catch up with that in a second. Let me see. Let me scroll back up. I have lost my place already. But I love it that you're all answering each other's questions in the chat. I'm just being a bit slow. Okay, let's have a look. Alex, thank you very much. Dazan, yes, that was the name of the company. I knew it was like AZN. I couldn't remember the first name, but Dazan, yes. Awesome. Nick also starts with 0.0.0. Makes sense. And when the initial project's set up, again, I guess production ready goes to 1.0.0. Yeah, I'd never heard of Dazan before. Like, okay, I feel like I heard of them, but I didn't know what they did. I just recognized their logo from some tech conferences. So, yeah. Tim says the best green screen I've ever seen. Best green screen. I was thinking your green squares of Nick's profile, but it's my green screen. Okay, for this setup. Yeah, that's the Elgato green screen. It's pretty cool. But the scary thing is you're only kind of seeing half of my studio at the moment. So yeah, loads of kit. Don't know how I'm going to take that around the world with me when I go traveling. So that's going to be interesting. How I want to fit that all in the suitcase. Okay. I'm going to try and skip over some questions. If I do miss it and it's a burning question, do just copy and paste it into the chat. How to get in? Lily asks, how to get an internship in the second year of engineering? That's a really good question. So I hire interns, I do, and I hire interns from the community. So either they've reached out or they've done a tweet and said, "Hey, I'm looking for an internship," and I might hire someone because I've seen them do something that's is going to be useful to the community. And like I've got a couple now who are only doing like part-time or not even part-time, like 10 hours a week. And it kind of, it's two-way street, helps us both out. So I would say, put yourself out there, get yourself on the radar to join a community. And if there's a company that you want to intern for, contribute to their open source projects. So hopefully, Lily, you're still here, write in the chat here or hello. And then I know you're still here. Yeah, get on the radar of the companies you want to work for. And I think that's something that I never used to do when I was a student. We didn't have GitHub when I was a student, but I do that now. If I want a client, I'll go contribute to their open source projects. And so when I go speak to the head of engineering or whoever it is, they've already my name is familiar to them. And as you're learning, try and share your learnings as well on Twitter. Just even like a couple of lines. Let me give you an example. I shared this. I did a video, but I also shared the what's the word? Like here's the video that I did. Okay, how to keep your GitHub fork up to date. But even if you don't want to do a video, and that's fine, because I know videos are a lot of work and it's hard to be on the camera. But I shared this, so I did 4 steps on how to achieve it, and that's what you can do. Just stuff like that, and you can use. I love using Carbon. I don't know if people are aware of it, where you can kind of put your code like this, any language, you just copy and paste it here, download it as a PNG or something, or SVG, and then you put it in your tweet, and this looks really professional, really awesome. And so I'd highly recommend doing that as well.
Yeah, Carbon is awesome. I think I had to ask like 5 different people, like, what is this? How are you creating this beautiful
I did the same.
code snippets? Man, I want to create them too.
I did the same. One thing I would like to see, and I think I've seen it somewhere, but never again, so I can't remember where it was, where it's like this, but it's typed out. So I would love to see an animated version of this, is what I'm saying, where it's kind of typing it out. That's what I would love to see. I'm sure that's possible. I see websites with people typing stuff out on the website, so they must be able to do something similar to this.
People, you heard it first. The new project idea.
Yeah. Alex, were you going to say something?
I think that there was some site where you can make that, but I used it like 2 weeks ago, but I can't remember. I'll find it and I'll.
Awesome. Yeah, go find it and let us know. That would be cool. Okay, let me try and catch up with the chat as well. It's already been going for an hour already. Wow. Okay. Let's have a look. So Lily, I hope that helps. As you get any specific questions, let us know in Discord. We'd love to chat about that, because I think that applies to so many people, so it's awesome. Alan getting a shout out for Ayush. Yes, helps so many people in the community. Reviews so many pull requests and merges them and gives feedback, and it's just awesome. So Alan, thank you so much for doing that. And Nick, thank you for reminding me to give the shout out. I really appreciate that. Cool. Okay. We should nominate Nick and Alan as GitHub stars. Yes, we should. I think I mentioned last time, I do have a post-it where I said nominate Nick as a GitHub star. Let me add Alan to that as well. I think I've only got one slot left. You only get like 3 slots in a certain period. But I'm going to do a plus, and I'm going to add Alan to that list. Absolutely. Love that. Great idea. Okay, let me see. Okay. What else have we got in the chat? Okay, Raphael, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Let me know in the chat if I'm pronouncing it right. It says, thank you, that's good. Any advice for computer science and engineer students? Yeah, I'm just going to say the same thing I always say, so it's probably boring for a lot of people, but hopefully useful to some. Open source, open source, open source. Just get involved, and remember, it's not about code. It's about getting involved in the conversation and adding value. So you could just fix a typo, that's adding value. You could raise an issue, that's adding value. Yes, it could be a pull request, it could be a feature, but there's just so many ways to add value, and so definitely do that. Awesome. Thank you very much. People saying like the live stream, give it a thumbs up. It really helps support the channel, so thank you very much. Hey, why don't you answer chat questions? Very disappointed leaving now. Oh, apparently Lily left. Okay, I was getting to chat questions. I was just being a bit slow. Apologies, Lily. But okay, if you've left, bye. Hopefully catch you on the next one. Okay, let's see. What else have we got? Are people supporting, saying there's lots of questions? I'll get to it. Thank you all so much for getting to that a lot quicker than me, letting other people in the community know that I'm not ignoring them. It just takes a bit of time to get to them. So thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Let's have a look. Kaz, awesome to have you here. Hope you're doing okay. Lots of highs in the chat from the community members to each other. Brilliant. Absolutely love that. That's awesome. Definitely. Okay. Oh, my chat just jumped loads. I don't know what happened there. Okay, hopefully I haven't skipped too many people. 5OV says Cassandra. What? Why the smart laughing face? 5OV on the Cassandra. You're not a fan? I haven't really used it, but I don't know. It seems like you get the best of both worlds. It's free to use for like smallish numbers, like 40 gigs of data. That's pretty big. But then you get the scalability later on if you want as well. I haven't used it in Anger yet, but I will do soon. Okay, people are answering the version stuff. Brilliant. I can skip all those because I think we've answered that and talked about that loads already. Naveen, I'm a beginner in freelancing. Can you guide me how to start freelancing? Love that question. We have covered it a bit already. I'm interested to know other people's thoughts as well. But definitely have a portfolio and have open source contributions for the bigger clients. You got to put yourself out there, right? If you put yourself in other people's shoes, like if you were looking for a gardener, for example, and you discovered that them on the internet or a friend recommended them, you're going to go look at their star rating somewhere. You want to look at their before and after pictures of the gardener, right? So yes, on the website you might have a before and after. If you did a revamp, if it's a new site or a new project, you won't have before and after, but you can get that person to give you a testimonial. So yes, finding the first few are quite hard, but it should get easier because you can then use those as examples in your portfolio and use those testimonials. So if you haven't got that and you've got starting from complete scratch and you've got nothing, then you need to build some stuff. And don't just build, side projects are great, but try and build like a real-ish project for a family member, even if it's a small project, but make sure they're the ones driving the features, not you. Because it's very different when you say, I want this feature, I'll work on this tomorrow, as to when someone else says, I want this feature, can you work on this tomorrow? Because it's very different, because they're going to pick things that might not make sense from a technical point of view, but from their point of view it does, and things like that. So it's really, really important. Like when I work on my projects, I do, what's it called? Path of least resistance development. So I've got an idea, and if I get a bit kind of bogged down in it, I might just kind of change the idea slightly to just get it out there and make it a bit easier. Not necessarily cut corners, but just change the idea. Like give it like a really crude example. If you had a button or you could hit submit and I wanted it to be the right hand side, I want to have curved corners and it was taking me too long to do it for whatever reason. Again, this is a rudimentary example, but just to give you an example. Then I'll say, right, the button's on the left, it works, people can still log in, sign up, etc. So the rounded corners or the position I can sort out later on. That's what I mean by path of least resistance. I don't mean cutting corners that the button's not going to work. So hopefully that helps. But let us know how you get on, and once you get started, if you've got any specific questions, do let us know. Kushi, great timing that you're here, Kushi. So Kushi is going to be on a live stream with me on Monday. I completely forgot to mention this. I'll set up the live stream tomorrow so people can set a reminder. And we are going to be talking about freelancing. So this is perfect timing. So Kushi, awesome to have you here, and thanks for the reminder. So bring your freelancing questions, but be as specific as possible. Like imagine you are, I don't know, someone asking you on, I don't know, how to write an email, but they said, how do I use a computer, right? You're not going to know that they want the email specific question. Whereas if they said, how do I send an email? How do I compose an email? How do I don't know, save an email, right? It's more specific, so you can give a better answer. So I highly recommend trying to be as specific as you can with your answers. Oh, interesting. Neon says, when you run npm init, the version is 1.0.0. Good point. Really good point. I like that. That's true. So they're expecting production ready straight away. They haven't seen most of our code then. They're too optimistic. Viv says, in the future, maybe we can run a bot on the live stream that compiles all the questions through the queue prepends so that he doesn't miss anything. That is true. That would be actually really, really good. But I do also like to include people's answers. So yeah, we have to have a think about that. That's quite good. But I know also YouTube API for like chat and stuff kind of sucks. Kushi's given a great answer as well. I love it that people are answering, other people's questions. It's great for you all to get different points of view. So this is great. Get started. Try to prioritize your stack. And try and go niche as well. I think it's really important in stack in the area that you do. Interact with the community. A community is so important. Really, really is. Yeah, you grow your network. You find out about, I don't know, things that work, things that don't. You can learn from other people's mistakes. So that's really, really good. I've got Carbon on my screen still. Let me remove Carbon and put our organization back up. Viv, automate everything. Absolutely. Level up. I use Carbon for all of my talks. Interesting. Okay, it is pretty cool. Let's have a look. Mercy Pink says, I think you can use Carbon, take a screenshot while typing the code to convert it to a GIF. True, but I kind of don't want to type it. I was hoping that I could, if I go back to Carbon, I was hoping I could paste it in, and then the app or whatever it is kind of then types it out for me. That's my thinking. There must be something done already. I'm sure someone's got some much more powerful Google foo than me, could have a look around for that. But yeah, you could do that, Mercy Pink. That would work. But my idea is I want something a bit easier. How do you design and make your thumbnails for your videos? Oh, that's an interesting question. I don't. I get templates. I ain't gonna lie. I get templates, and then I just kind of change the picture and the text. That's why you've seen some changes on my YouTube, on both my YouTube channels, because I've been trying different styles. So the brown and kind of mustard, orangey yellow didn't work so well, didn't pop enough. So now I've changed to like a red and blue, which I think pops a bit more. So I'm just changing to that. So yeah, I'm not a designer.
Yeah, the new ones definitely look. They have good contrast.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely making improvements. Oh, Alex, were you going to say something?
I was saying that it looks better now, and I think it will be great for the future.
Love that support. Thank you all so much. I did get some feedback on the thumbnails. People were saying they were nice. I had someone say I had too much text on them. So if you notice for the one today, I've actually reduced the amount of text I put on it. So yeah, keep giving me all your feedback on my open source projects, on the community's open source projects, thumbnails, everything. Feedback is just so important. Oh, Viv says I missed the context for Cassandra equals CERN. Yeah, probably. I need to really simple for me. My brain is not functioning so well today.
Yeah, if you want, I can give the context.
Yeah, please do.
So MERN has M for Mongo, right? Just replace M for C, which is Cassandra, which spells out CERN.
I was thinking of CERN in wherever it is, Switzerland. Right, okay, got you.
I think that's the funny part.
I really like that, actually. I might steal that and use that, actually. CERN.
Your project is on CERN.
Yes. Okay, I like that. Thanks, 5AV. I'll probably forget. You might have to remind me, but I really do like that. I think Team Eddie creates them. What do we create? The thumbnails. Yeah. No, actually, that's me. I do have Claudia, who's UX and UI, and she's offered to make the thumbnails, but I just find I'll just get a template and do it. I probably should make more effort. I probably should get Claudia to customize my thumbnails further, I suppose, a bit more, make them a bit more attractive. The hired Team Eddie. I want to apply for MLH Explorer track. What should I do? Any suggestions? Nupur, good question. Apply. Definitely apply. And how's your open source looking? Contribute to open source. Get those green squares. And it's not just about the green squares, but obviously that's how it kind of starts. But make sure that when you raise issues, like they have context. When you raise a pull request, the description is, if anyone hasn't been involved in the discussion of the issue of the pull request, it makes sense to them. So definitely do that. I think it helps pull requests and issues stand out. Do you have any more specific questions? And I can try and help answer those. Eddie is a service. Eddie's service is like, what do they say? I want to say it's broken, but it's kind of degraded at the moment. That's the word. It's like orange, degraded. I think I've got like, here we go. Eddie's service degraded. Let's have a look. Looking forward to the live stream. Yeah, Cushy has loads of freelancing questions ready for me. I hope she gives me a little preview so I can prepare some answers. And yeah, we're looking forward to all your questions as well in the chat while we do the live stream. So it's going to be on my YouTube channel, and Cushy is going to interrogate me. But it's going to be awesome. I know I'm going to learn so much as well. Because she suggested also using FreePic. There's FreePic. There is Canva. There are some other free kind of solutions you could use to do thumbnails if that's what you need. Go give the project a star and contribute now. Alex, thank you so much for the Stargate project. Yes, we're trying to do this all properly. So we do have loads of automation. So maybe that's a good thing to quick go over. We've got the releases and the release notes. We also get the packages that are created. The Docker packages are created here, are all done. And it also deploys, as you saw, to Kubernetes, as I showed you the version number here, 0.7, matches the version number of the release and the container as well. You can see it's 0.7 as well. So all in sync. The thing we do need to do, that if anyone wants any green squares, the documentation gets deployed to GitHub Pages, and it's going to be behind my head, isn't it, Eddie? I need to move this. Let me see if I can move this. So if I scroll to the bottom, hopefully you can see it. It's very small, but it doesn't really matter what it says. But the idea is this is a date at the moment of when it got deployed and when it got created. We need the version number in there to match all the other version numbers. So that's something that I need to add and do, or we need to add and do. Right, everyone. I think Claudia is here. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for the shout out. I really, really appreciate it. It's always good to get feedback, especially when you're having a kind of exhausting day and you think you're not adding much value and everyone's probably disappearing and falling asleep. But yeah, thank you so much for that positive feedback. The community is amazing, and that's what keeps me going. So when a couple of people in the community said, "Oh, you just cancel the live stream today," I was like, "No, I want to geek out with the community because I love you all. You all give me so much energy and motivation to do more, and so that's awesome. Thank you so much." Prathamesh, oh, I'm so tired. Hope I got your name right. You're welcome. Thanks for saying thanks in the chat. That's awesome. Kushi, I will be taking over Eddie's channel for some time. I don't have a sound effect for that. Maybe I have a drum roll. Here we go. Drum roll's too soon. We need to keep going till Monday, 5 o'clock GMT. When, yes. Equicode invasion, yes. And we do have our Kushi. Are you joining our community collab on 5 o'clock tomorrow? 6 o'clock tomorrow. You're joining, right? Have I still got it open? I don't think I have. It's going to be here. So we do have our community call tomorrow in 23 hours and 50 minutes. People do sign up to join our community call. It's going to be audio only on Discord. Lily, you're back. I answered your questions. And then as I kind of answered all your questions and we discussed it with the community, I scrolled through the chat and then you said you disappeared. So hopefully you heard my answers to your questions. Hopefully they were useful. But yeah, I don't know if you've just come back or you're just saying hi because, yeah, but do listen back. I did answer your questions and hopefully they're useful to you. Neon's found a way to create animated code GIFs. Awesome. That sounds cool. Don't write it in the YouTube chat because we'll lose it when we close the live stream shortly. Write it in Discord and therefore we can kind of keep it for a bit longer. Maybe even a GitHub discussion because then you get a green square and it gets kept forever rather than being lost in Discord history. So yes, awesome. So what does everyone have planned for the weekend? I hope it's going to involve open source. I hope it's going to involve learning. But also we have the MLH hackathon and we have the Eddie Hub Guild. I think it's starting Sunday, where it's a collaborative hackathon, which we won last time. Yay. But we collaborate with Equico, DevScript, and who were the other ones we collaborate with? Let me see. DSC as well. And now we're collaborating with Bashram too. So yes, we're doing lots of collabs with communities as well because it's just collaboration first, code second. So yeah, that's awesome. Share the gold with us. Exactly. I have one meeting, but try to wrap it up ASAP to join the community call. Kush, we're all joining just for you. And Claudia, if you're still in the chat, hopefully you're joining as well because it's great to get your perspective on the whole kind of UX side. I know we have some people in the community who are interested in the UX UI as well. But even as a developer, we need to learn and at least appreciate more of that side. So it'd be good to have you there. Awesome. I think this is a good place to wrap it up. Everyone, don't forget, give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And we have a freelancing live stream on Monday. And I'll have something else cool planned for Friday. Probably next Friday will be open source project reviews because everyone loves those. So we will do that again. And it's just so interesting to see all your awesome projects as well. Definitely. Awesome. No. Thank you all again so much. Did I share a link to this? I think I did. Yeah, I shared a link to the call. Do sign up to the call. It'll be great to have you all on the call. And a big shout out to Nick and Alan, who's been helping in behind the scenes, and a big shout out to Alex and Jay, who are on Radio Eddie. We didn't get, Cushy or Claudia up on Radio Eddie, but we will next time as well.
Yeah, that would be great.
And yeah, thank you so much for joining. Yeah, I look forward to geeking out with you both again, and hopefully next time we'll also get hopefully you being up here on Radio Eddie will encourage other people to join on the radio show so they can ask their questions and have a geek out as well. So thank you so much for inspiring others too. Awesome.
Yeah, even I would love to see more people getting into Radio Eddie and yeah.
Thank you. I want to give a level up sound. Definitely. See, Jay has spoken. Alex has spoken. Next time, don't be shy. Come up. Even come up for a few minutes. You don't have to be on for that long. Just ask a question, chat with us. It's good exposure for you as well and good practice. So yes, hopefully we'll get some more people next time. Everyone, have a great weekend.
So it's safe.
Yeah. It's safe. I'll be nice to people, so it's okay. I'm a nice person. So yeah, I'll be nice to people. I'll see you all tomorrow in 23 hours and 45 minutes. We will see you then. Thanks, everyone. I was going to say Jay and Alex, give them a wave, but they can't see you.
I'm waving, so bye.
Bye.
Bye everyone.